So this upcoming winter, what do you think will happen in terms of snow overall?
Well, it depends on how high the skunk cabbage is, right?
Okay. What do you think will happen?
I don't know. I grew up in New England. I've had my fair share of nor'easters. I like Colorado weather. Last year they said it was going to be so bad, but it wasn't. So and the forecasters and the Farmer's Almanac have all these predictions. We'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be okay.
What do you hope for?
Mild winter.
Kind of like this?
Yeah. Well, no, I'd like to change the seasons, but maybe as I get older, I like a little less,
A couple
more
of
mild.
days would be nice. Make some
Christmas.
soup,
Yeah.
bake some bread.
The white Christmas.
Welcome back. I'm Mike Daniels. And now the next to last topic is our storm impact scale. It always appears on our 7-day forecast. You'll sometimes see a number on the bottom of the day. A lot of people ask questions about that. Those numbers at the bottom, we're going to explain now exactly what that means. For example, if you see a 1 on the impact scale will have very little impact. The storm won't cause you to cancel any plans. Now, but if you see a 2, now we're starting to ramp up just a little bit. In addition to the previous, it could also affect your outdoor plans. Schools may be delayed at this point. And if you see a 3 on our impact scale, you may want to reconsider outdoor plans or even traveling because the storm could significantly impact your day with snow, icy roads, and low visibilities. Now we're ramping up into a 4. This is a real serious storm with dangerous impacts. It could really impact travel. In fact, you may see roads closed, so it'll cancel your travel plans. You'll want to stay indoors and be very safe. Finally, if you see a 5 on our impact scale, you want to remember that this is a very dangerous storm. You probably just want to stay home and watch Channel 5. And as for driving in winter weather, a few reminders. Always plan ahead and certainly pay attention to the forecast, and if it changes and which way. You'll certainly want to prep your car for winter weather, everything from wiper blades to tires, and always leave extra time for travel. Also, never underestimate space between vehicles and always expect the unexpected from other drivers. Finally, certainly be aware of those icy sidewalks. Now here are some tips from a local pro.
I would say number 1, speed. Speed is always usually the number 1 factor. I think any police officer at a crash site will tell you the same thing. But definitely tire condition as well. If your tires are okay in the summer, if they're close, they're not going to be great on the snow or ice. Another thing, any distractions. You really have to pay more attention when the conditions are variable. You know, maybe sunny, maybe snowy. You don't want to be distracted by a cell phone or, you know, kids in the back seat, what have you.
So a few final thoughts before we go. There were a few other things we considered in making this seasonal forecast, but for either time constraints or difficulty in explaining, we had to leave some things out. Things like computer model simulations. We also chose to leave out less scientific topics, such as using birds and ants and groundhogs, squirrels' tails, and woolly bear caterpillars to predict the weather. We'll leave that to others to pontificate. But long-range outlooks are both challenging and in some ways easier than short-range forecasts. Long-range outlooks are difficult by nature because they ignore individual events for the greater goal, the overall numbers. But they also allow us to stick to simpler terms such as above normal or below. So keep that in mind. Also, as opposed to your 7-day forecast where we are looking for the details for each day, here we're thinking big picture. Again, our goal here is to look at trends that give you a projection for season-ending numbers. Things that help you decide if and where to buy ski tickets, for example, or if you should buy that new snowblower or make do for another year with the old one. And come April, when we look back, the team does feel confident that you will see near average snowfall in the plains, near or slightly below in the northwestern mountains and central mountains, but above average in the southern mountains. We also feel that temperatures overall will be slightly above average in the plains and perhaps in the mountains too, but that isn't going to make much difference because the greater elevations out west will make those slightly above temperatures meaningless, because it will almost always be cold enough for precipitation to fall as snow anyway in the mountains. And finally, you may have noticed we're off to a great start for cold and snow. We've already had significant snow on Halloween and again a week ago, and late October through mid-November has already been significantly colder than average. But 3 weeks of fall does not a winter make. My belief is that while we're starting out quite cold and snowy already, the trend will eventually reverse the second half of the winter. Okay, that wraps up our winter weather outlook for southeastern Colorado for the 2018-2019 winter season. Don't forget your tweets and questions and comments to hashtag Colorado Winter. We'll be happy to answer any and all of your questions as best we can. We hope you've enjoyed this, learned or relearned important things like the meanings of watches, warnings, and the most common advisories, and of our own storm intensity scale. Oh, and finally, as a Christmas wish, we hope that you get exactly what you want from Old Man Winter. Now it's up to him, and you know that we'll be watching what happens along with you because we're always watching out for you, Southern Colorado. For the entire team, I'm meteorologist Jeff Matthews, News 5. Let the tweet storm begin.
First Alert 5 Winter Weather Outlook is brought to you by Total Roofing.